Hello listeners, this is how to completely abuse the studio. You got a photo of that there, Mike? Is that good?
Yeah.
Is that good?
Hold on, don't move.
Okay, I'm winching.
It hurts.
I'm winching. It's
Done
hurting.
it.
Okay, 101 uses for a cue light. Yeah, Jason here was just asking what this does. And this thing turns,
We're recording.
green. I think we're recording, yeah, I think we're doing our little video. So that tells us when to start talking. They should have another one of these to tell us when to shut up as well, I think, in my case. But there you go. Right, so I know what you're thinking, dear listeners. Where's Bill? Well, he couldn't make it to this show. He very rarely misses a Digital Planet, but he couldn't make it for this one. So we have a Bill stand-in, Mike Butcher, goodness me.
Hello there, viewers. How are you?
They're talking about, they're saying, all the better for hearing from you there, Mike. Half of them probably know you. Everyone knows Mike.
No, not everybody.
Yes,
that's why I come on Digital Planet, to talk to the world.
Well, you're talking to a representative cross-section of the world right now on our Facebook and YouTube video listeners group kind of thing. So anyway, but Mike is, for those of you who don't know, is on the TechCrunch blog, where he is the Europe editor as well. No less. Also, this fine gentleman here is Jason Palmer. Say hello to the listeners there, Jason.
Hi there. No reason you should know me, don't worry.
Well, you'll know him after this programme because Jason... Well, he's been on the show before, actually. We did an A-Live special from Winchester last year, and we spoke to Jason on that. And Jason, we're going to start with you in this video because you've been on the show talking all about mobile phone viruses and scaring the living daylights out of us. So.
Well, don't get scared. It's just a matter of if the status quo continues, then things are going to get tough virus-wise. At the moment, operators have some time as viruses spread very slowly because of this market share issue. They have time to do patches, they have time to keep things from spreading, but basically once we get enough smartphones with a given operating system, it's going to be Symbian, almost certainly.
Yeah.
After that certain point, then the viruses will simply spread faster than the operators can keep up. So we're going to have antivirus on phones just like we do on computers.
Yeah, and the reason we're talking about it this week is we've been speaking to an expert who's come up with a tipping point, isn't it, where he reckons once we get to a certain number of mobile phones, a certain proportion of all the phones having one operating system, then it's going to go crazy.
Right, and it's based on real data. It's based on the movement of people and their usages of their phones. And what he finds is people they don't move much. They move in very predictable ways among very predictable groups of people and so on. So the Bluetooth means of passing on a virus is quite small because you keep going to the same places. You keep giving it to the same people.
But a lot of viruses on computer networks basically are spread because key logging, people want to hack into password for bank accounts, things like that. What's the motivation for creating a virus for a mobile phone?
Well, I mean, if you have a smartphone that allows you to get on the internet, then you can do all the same things on your phone that you can do on your computer. I mean, these are computers, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a sobering thought. So that was our lead item in the programme. Probably haven't got enough time in this video to talk about all these things. Before we move on, though, supposing I was a listener and I thought, Jason, that's an amazing story. I want to find out more about it. Where might I go?
I tell you where you can go. I wrote a story for BBC News Online on the technology page. You can find it there.
There you go, and check it out. It's a great story. That's why we ran it in the programme. So let's. Well, we've been talking about lots of things, like using your computer in a kind of SETI at home kind of context. You've probably heard about that. Volunteer computing. There was a big meeting in Asia a couple of weeks ago, looking at how that whole culture of using, kind of people using their computers to help in big scientific endeavours is now shifting to Asia. We've been talking about social netiquette. There have been a few howlers that Mike Butcher has been telling us about of people really messing up on social networks. I'm sure I've committed a few crimes of my own. But
all you have to do is search on "I hate my job" on Twitter and you get all of them.
Exactly. Lots of people saying, I hate my job, but it won't be their job for that much longer.
No, as soon as their boss finds out.
Yeah, if they hate it that much, then well, they're not going to have a job.
There was that Aussie guy who got, or was it a Kiwi guy, got sacked because basically the HR people where he worked spotted him, updating his Facebook account saying, no, it's still too trash to go to work today.
That's right. He said he was having to stay in a darkened room and not look at a screen, and they found him on Facebook. But he said he was using a mobile phone, so there you go.
Yeah. We've been waxing philosophical this week as well. We've had Clay Shirky on, who's got this book, Here Comes Everybody. It's all about this kind of rise of, social networks and Wikipedia and sort of collaborative efforts where we just have all these kind of incredible, sort of communities and social networking sort of phenomena that have just kind of sprung up without any kind of notion of a single entity leading it all. It just seems to have happened. And that's got us thinking a little bit, really, isn't it? Like we've been riffing around that.
Well, funnily enough, it's all happened already. In 1817... a chap tried to organise a huge protest in the UK and it totally failed. A couple of years later, after the invention of the cheap printing press, you got massacres all over the place. So there's people marching on London. So it's all about the spread of information. So interestingly, we're only a couple of years into this, so we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite a thought. So, so all that and lots more stuff on Digital Planet. My goodness, what a full programme it's been. And how quickly, Mike Butcher, a minute and a half goes, isn't it?
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
I was saying to Mike, oh, I've got a minute and a half to talk about this, you know, and then like 2 questions later, it's time to go into the next item.
Yes.
We move it quite
But I can usually tell when you have a problem because you start doing sort of twitching.
I get a bit twitching, yeah. It's nothing to do with the timing of the programme or anything broadcast related, it's just kind of what I do.
Yeah, it's just what you do.
Polite social
generally.
conversation freaks people out, especially when I put kind of green lights like this in my eye. Anyway, we'll see you for more Digital Planet next week. I think Bill's back, unless Mike's been so good that we'll never ask Bill again.
You should bring him back.
Either
way.
I look forward to hearing Bill for many, many years.
Exactly, we know Bill's going to be watching this. So cheers to you, Bill, and lovely. Thank you, everybody, and that'll do for now, probably.
Bye.
Take care.